Hey warrior, every single morning you open your eyes, you're handed a choice that will determine whether you spend the next 24 hours as a prisoner of circumstance or as the architect of your own experience. Most people never realize they're making this choice. They roll out of bed, reach for their phone, and immediately surrender control of their day to whatever chaos the world wants to throw at them. But there's an ancient secret, a morning ritual practiced by Roman emperors, Greek philosophers, and some of the most resilient people who've ever lived. And it happens in the first few precious minutes after you wake up. Those moments when your mind is most malleable, most open to programming. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, ruling over an empire that stretched from Britain to Egypt, would wake up before dawn in a freezing military tent on the Danube frontier. While his generals slept, while his enemies plotted, while plague ravaged his cities, Marcus would sit alone and speak truths to himself. Not to feel good, not to pump himself up with fake positivity, but to prepare his mind for reality. He wrote in his personal journal, never meant for anyone else to read, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." But here's what's extraordinary. He didn't write this to complain or feel defeated. He wrote it to prepare, to remove the power of surprise, to enter the day with his eyes open and his mind ready. Right now, in these first waking moments, your brain is in what neuroscientists call a hypnagogic state. Your neural pathways are most flexible. The thoughts you think, the words you speak to yourself, they literally rewire how your brain will respond to everything that happens today. This isn't mysticism, this is neuroscience. Your first thoughts create automatic patterns that will run all day long, beneath your conscious awareness. Yet most people waste this golden window. They grab their phone and immediately download other people's emergencies, other people's opinions, other people's problems. They scroll through social media, comparing their behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel. They check the news and fill their minds with catastrophes they cannot control. By the time they get out of bed, they've already programmed their brain for anxiety, comparison, and reactivity. The ancient Stoics discovered something revolutionary, something that's been battle-tested for over 2,000 years. You can program your mind for unshakable strength, genuine peace, and unstoppable momentum by speaking 10 specific truths to yourself each morning. These aren't affirmations. Affirmations are often just wishful thinking, telling yourself things you don't believe in hopes they'll magically become true. These are different. These are reality-based declarations that align your mind with how the world actually works. They're truths that powerful people throughout history have used to face unimaginable challenges. Truths that helped a slave with a broken leg become one of history's most influential philosophers. Truths that helped an emperor maintain his sanity while his empire crumbled around him. Truths that helped a prisoner of war survive 7 years of torture without breaking. What if you could wake up tomorrow morning and genuinely feel excited about the day ahead, regardless of what challenges await? What if you could face criticism, setbacks, and uncertainty with the kind of calm confidence that makes people wonder what you know that they don't? The ancient Greeks had a word for this state, ataraxia, unshakable tranquility, the ability to remain at peace with yourself and your place in the world, no matter what storms rage around you. This isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one morning at a time, one declaration at a time, one day at a time. Before we begin, I need you to make a commitment. If this resonates with you, if you're serious about taking control of your mornings and therefore your life, hit that like button right now. Drop a comment and tell me what your biggest morning struggle is. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel because we're building a community of people who refuse to let life happen to them. And whatever you do, don't skip any part of this video. Each declaration builds on the last. Each one targets a specific weakness that keeps most people stuck. If you stay until the end, you'll have a complete system for transforming your mornings and therefore transforming your life. Let's begin. The moment you accept complete responsibility for your emotional state, everything changes. This isn't about blaming yourself for bad things that happen. It's about claiming your power to choose how you respond to whatever life throws at you. Viktor Frankl was a Jewish psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. He watched his family murdered. He endured starvation, disease, and brutal labor. He lived in conditions that would break most people in days. And yet, in that hell, he made a discovery that would define his entire life's work. He wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." Read that again. If someone could maintain control over their emotional state in a concentration camp, facing death every single day, you can maintain it in your daily life. You can maintain it in traffic. You can maintain it when your boss criticizes you. You can maintain it when your plans fall apart. Most people live as emotional slaves. Their mood depends on the weather, on traffic, on other people's behavior, on their bank account, on how many likes their Instagram post got. They wake up and immediately check their phone, letting notifications determine whether they'll feel good or bad about themselves today. This is emotional slavery, and it's the reason most people feel powerless in their own lives. When you tell yourself, "I am in control of how today feels," you're making a declaration of independence. You're saying that your happiness, your peace, your confidence, these aren't for sale to the highest bidder. You're claiming ownership of the one thing no one can ever take away from you: your response to what happens. This doesn't mean you'll never feel disappointed, frustrated, or sad. Stoicism isn't about becoming an emotionless robot. It's about recognizing that these feelings are temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You understand that while you can't control what happens to you, you have complete control over what happens in you. Epictetus, who was born a slave and had his leg broken by his master, taught his students, "We suffer not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them." Change the judgment, change the suffering. It's that simple and that profound. This morning declaration rewires your brain to stop looking outward for emotional stability and start looking inward for emotional strength. You stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver. Here's how to use this declaration. Every morning before you do anything else, place your hand on your heart and say these words with conviction, out loud. "I am in control of how today feels. My emotions are my choice. My peace is my decision. Today I choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, hope over fear." Say it like you mean it. Say it until you feel it. And watch what happens. Watch how differently you move through your day when you realize that no one and nothing can make you feel anything without your permission. Your peace of mind is like a fortress, and you are the gatekeeper. Every morning you must decide who and what gets permission to enter your mental space. Most people leave their gates wide open. They let every criticism, every worry, every negative thought march right in and set up permanent camp. Marcus Aurelius, ruling the largest empire in the world, dealing with wars, plagues, and betrayals, wrote in his meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He understood that true power isn't controlling what happens around you. That's impossible. True power is controlling what happens within you. That's completely possible. When you declare, "Nothing disturbs my peace without my permission," you're establishing boundaries around your inner world. You're saying that your tranquility isn't a public playground where anyone can come and create chaos. You become the security guard of your own mind. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean you become emotionless or disconnected. It doesn't mean you don't care about things. It means you develop what the Stoics called the discipline of assent, the ability to examine every impression that comes to you and decide whether it deserves your emotional investment. Someone says something hurtful, that's data. It entered your awareness, but you get to decide, does this deserve to disturb my peace? Is this person's opinion worth my emotional energy? Often the answer is no. And when the answer is no, you simply acknowledge the information and let it pass through without gripping it. The secret is in the pause. Between what happens to you and your reaction to it, there's a space, a sacred space where you get to choose. Most people react so fast they don't even know this space exists. They hear criticism and immediately feel hurt. They see a setback and immediately feel defeated. There's no gap, no choice, just automatic reaction. But when you train yourself to find this pause, when you learn to inhabit this space between stimulus and response, you discover your superpower. You realize that no one can disturb your peace without your permission. And you almost never give that permission. Every morning, stand in front of the mirror and speak directly to yourself. "Nothing disturbs my peace without my permission. I am the guardian of my inner world. Today I choose who and what gets access to my mind. My peace is not for sale, not for rent, and not up for negotiation." Watch how differently you move through the world when you realize your peace is entirely in your hands. You become unshakable, not because nothing bad happens, but because you've learned to protect what matters most. The fastest way to drive yourself insane is trying to control things that are completely outside your power. Yet every day, millions of people waste enormous mental energy worrying about other people's opinions, the economy, politics, the past, the future, and 1,000 other things they cannot influence. Epictetus taught the fundamental Stoic principle that changed everything for those who understood it. Some things are within our power, while others are not. He divided all of existence into two categories, what you can control and what you can't. Master this distinction and you master your life. Ignore it and you'll spend your entire life frustrated, anxious, and exhausted. What can you actually control? Your effort, your attitude, your words, your actions, your reactions, your decisions. That's it. That's the complete list. Everything else, other people's behavior, the past, the future, natural disasters, the stock market, your boss's mood, what people think of you, whether you get the promotion, is completely outside your control. Most people have this backwards. They spend 80% of their mental energy trying to control the uncontrollable, while neglecting the things they can actually influence. They worry about what might happen next month while ignoring what they can do today. They stress about what someone might think while not focusing on who they want to become. When you wake up and declare, "Today I focus only on what I can control," you're making a strategic decision to invest your limited mental resources where they can actually make a difference. You're choosing effectiveness over anxiety, action over worry, influence over helplessness. The Greek Stoics used a powerful exercise called the circles of control. Imagine 3 concentric circles. The inner circle contains everything you control completely: your thoughts, your effort, your choices. The middle circle contains things you can influence but not control: other people's reactions, outcomes of your efforts, opportunities that come your way. The outer circle contains everything beyond your influence: the weather, the past, other people's opinions, the economy. Your job every single day is to invest 90% of your attention on the inner circle, 10% on the middle circle, and 0 on the outer circle. Absolutely 0. Stop checking it. Stop worrying about it. Stop letting it occupy space in your mind. This morning practice transforms everything. Instead of waking up overwhelmed by all the things going wrong in the world, you wake up energized by all the things you can make right in your sphere of influence. Instead of feeling powerless, you feel focused. Instead of scattered anxiety, you experience laser-like clarity. Stand up right now, look yourself in the eye, and say with conviction, "Today I focus only on what I can control. I will not waste energy on things outside my power. My attention goes to my actions, my effort, and my responses. This is where my power lives." And then, throughout the day, every time you catch yourself worrying about something outside your control, gently redirect your attention back to what you can actually do about it. Back to your circle of control. This single practice, done consistently, will change your life. Your value as a human being has absolutely nothing to do with whether you get the promotion, win the argument, close the deal, or have a perfect day. Yet most people tie their self-worth to their daily performance like a roller coaster that never stops, soaring when things go well, crashing when they don't. Seneca, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in Rome, learned this lesson the hard way. He was exiled by one emperor, recalled, became advisor to another, and was eventually forced to commit suicide by Nero. Through all these dramatic reversals of fortune, he discovered that external achievements are temporary, but inner worth is eternal. He wrote, "Nothing can be taken from us except what we hold tightly in our fists." Our worth transcends any single outcome. Society programs us from birth to measure ourselves by productivity, bank accounts, relationship status, achievements. We wake up thinking we need to prove our worth through what we accomplish before bedtime. This is exhausting and ultimately destructive because it makes your self-esteem dependent on things that are partially or completely outside your control. When you tell yourself, "My worth is not measured by today's outcomes," you're breaking free from the performance trap. You're declaring that your value is inherent, not earned. You existed before today's challenges, and you'll exist after today's victories or defeats. Your essence isn't up for negotiation based on temporary circumstances. This doesn't mean you stop trying or caring about results. It means you separate your effort from your identity. You can pursue excellence without tying your self-respect to whether you achieve it. You can be disappointed by poor outcomes without being devastated by them. You can celebrate successes without depending on them for your sense of value. The ancient Stoics understood that true confidence comes from knowing who you are at your core, regardless of what happens on the surface. They had a concept they called preferred indifference, outcomes you'd prefer, but that don't define your worth. Getting the job is preferred, but not getting it doesn't make you less valuable. Think about it this way. A diamond doesn't become more valuable when someone buys it and less valuable when someone drops it. Its value is inherent. You're the same way. Your worth isn't created by success or destroyed by failure. It simply is. Every morning, remind yourself of this liberating truth. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. I am valuable because I exist, not because of what I achieve. Today, I will give my best effort while knowing that my value is not on trial. Success or failure, I remain worthy of love, respect, and dignity. Say this, believe this, live this, and watch how it frees you to take bigger risks, handle bigger challenges, and pursue bigger dreams, because you're no longer terrified that failure will destroy your sense of self. The gap between good intentions and actual action is where most dreams go to die. Every morning, millions of people wake up with beautiful plans. They'll start that business, make that call, begin that workout routine, write that book. But by evening, nothing has changed except their disappointment in themselves. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself in his journal, "In the morning, when thou risest unwillingly, let this thought be present. I am rising to the work of a human being." He knew that intentions without action are just sophisticated forms of procrastination. He knew that the universe doesn't care about your plans, it only responds to your actions. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't talent, luck, or circumstances. It's the ability to close the gap between thinking and doing. While most people are perfecting their plans, successful people are perfecting their execution. While most people are waiting for the right moment, successful people are creating the right moment through action. When you declare, "I will act, not just intend," you're making a commitment to become a person of action rather than a person of endless preparation. You're choosing to be someone who does things imperfectly rather than someone who plans things perfectly but never starts. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism is built on a simple premise. Virtue is action. It's not enough to know what's right. You must do what's right. It's not enough to understand wisdom. You must live wisdom. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Your morning declaration creates what psychologists call an implementation intention, a specific commitment that connects your goals to your behavior. Instead of, "I want to exercise," you say, "I will act on my health goals today." Instead of, "I should call my parents," you say, "I will act on my commitment to family today." The moment you shift from intending to acting, everything changes. You stop being a spectator in your own life and become the main character. You stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities. You stop hoping things will get better and start making things better. Here's your morning practice. Stand up right now and make this commitment with your whole body. Say it out loud with conviction. I will act, not just intend. Today I choose action over analysis, progress over perfection, doing over dreaming. My intentions mean nothing without my actions. Today I act. And then throughout the day, every time you notice yourself planning, preparing, or intending, stop and ask, what's the smallest action I can take right now? And then take it. One action, then another, then another. This is how you build a life of momentum instead of a life of maybe someday. Drop this in the comments right now to lock it in. Today I act. The same fire that melts butter hardens steel. Every morning you get to decide which one you'll be when life turns up the heat. Most people see obstacles as punishments, but the wise see them as the gymnasium where character is built and strength is forged. James Stockdale, a U.S. Navy admiral, survived 7 years of torture as a prisoner of war in Vietnam. He was beaten regularly, locked in isolation for years, forced to watch fellow prisoners break under pressure, and he credited his survival to Stoic philosophy, specifically the teachings of Epictetus. He said, "You must never confuse faith that you will prevail in the end with the discipline to confront the most brutal facts of your current reality." He understood that challenges don't break you, they reveal what you're made of and give you the opportunity to become stronger. The difficulty isn't happening to you, it's happening for you. Right now, you're facing something difficult, maybe financial pressure, relationship problems, health issues, career uncertainty. Your natural instinct might be to wish these problems away, to curse your bad luck, to feel sorry for yourself. But what if these challenges aren't obstacles at all? What if they're invitations? Invitations to develop capacities you don't currently have. Invitations to discover strength you didn't know you possessed. Invitations to become the person you're meant to be. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that revolutionized my understanding of difficulty. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Every obstacle contains within it the seeds of opportunity if you have the eyes to see it. The business failure teaches you what doesn't work. The betrayal teaches you who to trust. The illness teaches you what really matters. The setback teaches you resilience. When you tell yourself every challenge is a chance to grow stronger, you're completely reframing your relationship with difficulty. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being a student of life. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" This doesn't mean you should enjoy suffering or seek out problems. It means you recognize that struggle is the price of growth, and growth is the price of a meaningful life. A muscle only gets stronger when it faces resistance. Character only develops when it faces challenges. Every morning, prepare your mind for whatever the day might bring. Every challenge is a chance to grow stronger. I welcome difficulties as opportunities to develop my character. Today's obstacles are tomorrow's strengths. I do not pray for an easier life. I pray to become a stronger person. And then, when difficulties arise, and they will, instead of collapsing, you lean in. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you ask, "What now?" Instead of seeing yourself as a victim, you see yourself as a warrior in training, and everything changes. Comparison is the thief of joy, but it's also the destroyer of progress, confidence, and authentic success. Every morning, millions of people wake up and immediately start measuring their lives against highlight reels they see on social media, forgetting they're comparing their behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's carefully curated performance. Epictetus taught his students how much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does or thinks, but only to what he does himself. He knew that your only meaningful competition is the person you were yesterday, not the person next to you, not the person with more followers, more money, more success, the person you were yesterday. Social media has turned comparison into a 24/7 addiction. You see someone's vacation photos and suddenly your life feels boring. You see someone's promotion announcement and suddenly your career feels stagnant. You see someone's relationship posts and suddenly your love life feels inadequate. But here's what you don't see: their struggles, their fears, their failures, their private moments of doubt. You're comparing your complete reality to their edited highlights. It's like comparing a behind-the-scenes documentary to a blockbuster movie and wondering why your life doesn't look as exciting. When you declare, I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. You're choosing to run your own race at your own pace toward your own finish line. You're refusing to let other people's timelines dictate your self-worth. Your journey is unique because you are unique. Your background, your strengths, your struggles, your dreams, your circumstances, they're yours alone. Trying to live someone else's path is like trying to wear someone else's shoes. It might look good from the outside, but it will never fit properly and will eventually cause you pain. The most successful and fulfilled people have learned to define success for themselves. They've stopped trying to impress people they don't even like with achievements that don't even matter to them. They've learned to celebrate others without diminishing themselves and to appreciate their own progress without needing external validation. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." The Stoics would add, "Comparison is also the thief of purpose, authenticity, and peace." This morning, make a commitment to authentic living. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. My path is unique, my timing is perfect, and my progress is meaningful. Today, I celebrate others' successes without questioning my own worth. I am exactly where I need to be on my unique journey. And throughout the day, every time you catch yourself comparing, stop, acknowledge it, and redirect your attention back to your own path, back to your own progress, back to your own purpose. Motivation is like the weather, unpredictable, temporary, and completely outside your control. Some days you wake up feeling like you can conquer the world. Other days you can barely conquer getting out of bed. But discipline is like breathing. It works whether you feel like it or not. Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman and Stoic philosopher, was known for his unwavering discipline. Even in freezing winter, he would walk barefoot through the streets of Rome to strengthen his resolve. He understood that comfort is the enemy of greatness, and that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Most people wait for motivation to strike like lightning. They think they need to feel inspired, energized, or excited before they can take action. So they wait and wonder why they never make progress toward their goals. Meanwhile, disciplined people are building empires while unmotivated people are building excuses. When you tell yourself, "I choose discipline over motivation," you're making a declaration of independence from your feelings. You're saying that your actions won't be held hostage by your emotions. You're choosing to be someone who does what needs to be done, regardless of whether you feel like doing it. Discipline is a muscle, and like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're adding weight to your character. Every time you do something when you don't want to do it, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted to keep your own commitments. The Stoics called this the discipline of action, the ability to do what virtue requires even when it's difficult, boring, or uncomfortable. They knew that motivation comes and goes, but discipline creates the consistent action that builds extraordinary lives. Think about the most successful person you know. I guarantee they're not more motivated than you. They're more disciplined than you. They've learned to divorce their actions from their feelings and marry their behavior to their values. Success isn't about having great days when you feel amazing. It's about having decent days when you feel terrible. It's about showing up when you don't want to. It's about doing the work when no one's watching. It's about keeping your promises to yourself even when breaking them would be easier. This morning, make this powerful commitment. I choose discipline over motivation. I will act based on my commitments, not my feelings. Today, I do what I said I would do regardless of how I feel about doing it. My discipline is my superpower. And then prove it. Throughout the day, every time you don't feel like doing something you committed to, do it anyway. Small disciplines build into large capabilities. Today's discipline is tomorrow's freedom. Your perspective is your reality, and gratitude is the lens that transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary blessings. Every morning, you can choose to focus on what's missing from your life or what's already present. One choice leads to misery, the other leads to abundance. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." He understood that gratitude isn't about denying problems. It's about recognizing the miracles that exist alongside them. Right now, while you're reading this, your heart is beating without you thinking about it. Your lungs are breathing without you commanding them. You have access to clean water, probably have a roof over your head, and can read these words through technology that would seem like magic to people just a century ago. Yet most mornings, we wake up thinking about what we don't have instead of appreciating what we do have. We focus on the one thing that went wrong and ignore the 99 things that went right. When you declare, "Gratitude will shape how I see the day," you're making a conscious choice to train your brain to notice abundance instead of scarcity. Neuroscience shows that gratitude literally rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways that make you naturally more optimistic, resilient, and content. The Stoics practiced something called negative visualization, imagining losing what they currently had in order to appreciate it more deeply. They would spend time thinking about losing their health, their loved ones, or their possessions. Not to become pessimistic, but to become grateful for what they currently enjoyed. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself that everyone he loved would eventually die, including himself. This sounds morbid, but it had the opposite effect. It made him cherish every moment with them. It made him present. It made him grateful. Gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring real problems. It's about maintaining perspective. It's about remembering that even your worst day contains elements worth appreciating. It's about understanding that happiness isn't about having everything you want. It's about appreciating everything you have. This morning practice will transform your entire day. Gratitude will shape how I see the day. I will notice the good that surrounds me. Today I choose abundance over scarcity, appreciation over complaint, wonder over worry. My grateful heart creates my happy life. And then, throughout the day, practice noticing. Notice the warm water in your shower. Notice the food on your table. Notice the people who showed up for you. Notice the opportunities you've been given. Notice the breath in your lungs. What you focus on expands. Focus on lack, and you'll find more lack. Focus on abundance, and you'll discover you've been surrounded by blessings all along. Every sunrise offers you a contract. Invest this day wisely, and you'll go to bed richer in wisdom, stronger in character, and closer to the person you're meant to become. This isn't about achieving massive breakthroughs every single day. It's about the compound effect of small, consistent improvements that transform ordinary days into extraordinary lives. Seneca practiced a beautiful evening ritual where he would review his day and ask himself, "What wound did I heal today? What failing did I resist? Where can I show improvement?" He understood that the goal wasn't perfection, it was progress. He knew that even a 1% improvement each day would compound into remarkable transformation over time. When you commit to ending the day better than you started, you're turning every day into a masterclass in personal development. You wake up as version 1.0 of yourself and go to sleep as version 1.01. It might seem insignificant, but mathematically, if you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 37 times better by the end of that year. This mindset transforms how you approach everything. That difficult conversation becomes an opportunity to practice courage. That mistake becomes data for future decisions. That frustrating delay becomes a chance to practice patience. Every experience becomes raw material for growth rather than just something that happened to you. The beauty of this approach is that it makes failure impossible. Even if you have a terrible day, you can still end it better than you started by learning from what went wrong. Even if you make mistakes, you can still grow by extracting wisdom from those mistakes. Even if you fall short of your goals, you can still improve by adjusting your approach for tomorrow. This isn't about being hard on yourself or demanding perfection. It's about being intentional with your growth and recognizing that every day is a gift that shouldn't be wasted. Marcus Aurelius would end each day by reviewing everything that happened and asking, "Did I live with virtue today? Did I contribute to others? Did I become a better version of myself?" Not to judge himself harshly, but to learn and adjust. When you consistently end each day better than you started, you create momentum that carries you toward the life you actually want to live. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. Every morning, make this commitment. I will end the day better than I started. Today is not just another day. It's an opportunity to grow, to learn, to become. Tonight, when I lay my head down, I will be wiser, stronger, and more aligned with who I'm meant to be. And then, every evening, take 5 minutes to review. What did I learn today? Where did I grow? How am I better now than I was this morning? Write it down. Track your progress. Celebrate your growth. These 10 morning declarations aren't just words. They're a blueprint for building an unshakable life. When you start each day by claiming responsibility for your experience, protecting your peace, focusing on what you control, recognizing your inherent worth, choosing action over intention, embracing challenges, avoiding comparisons, prioritizing discipline, practicing gratitude, and committing to daily growth, you transform from someone who reacts to life into someone who creates it. The ancient Stoics understood something that modern self-help often misses. True strength isn't about positive thinking or pretending problems don't exist. It's about developing the inner resources to handle whatever life throws at you with wisdom, courage, and grace. These morning declarations are your daily training program for that kind of strength. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to be consistent. Start with one declaration that resonates most deeply with you and gradually incorporate the others. The goal isn't to become a Stoic philosopher overnight. It's to become a little more resilient, a little more intentional, and a little more in control of your own experience each day. Your mornings shape your days shape your life, and your life shapes your legacy. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, spent his mornings preparing his mind. Epictetus, a slave with nothing, spent his mornings strengthening his character. They both understood the same truth. The morning is where transformation begins. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you check your messages, before you let the world tell you who to be, speak these truths to yourself, out loud, with conviction, and watch what happens. Watch how your days change. Watch how your life transforms. Watch how you become unstoppable. If this message resonated with you, hit that like button right now. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your favorite morning declaration, I read everyone. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing content rooted in ancient wisdom for modern life. Your future self is watching what you do right now. Make them proud. Make your mornings count. Make your life extraordinary. The choice is yours. It always has been. What will you choose?